Hello everybody, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if not, then welcome back to another one of my videos. So I did tell you guys that the Christmas setup, we'll call it, was coming, and this was not what I was anticipating. I'm very surprised I held off until filming this video because normally I'm November 1st, but I wanted to slowly approach it. So this is what I've come up with so far. Honestly, I hate it. The only thing I like is the shit up there, which you can't even see. So it's gonna be a work in progress. We're gonna call it that. There's definitely some things that need to change. I might put a wreath there, but at the same time, I don't know. Anyway, I really underestimated how much of a perfectionist I would be with this, because with my Halloween decorations, I just popped them up, called it a day, and I was really happy with them. But this, I'm not in the slightest. I'm being a huge perfectionist with this, and you know, it is what it is. But just know that my next video, or my next few videos, this shit's gonna change, hopefully for the better. This video is a collab with Nicki from Nicki and Bookland. She is my Canadian girl, okay? There's not many Canadian booktubers out there. I know a lot of Canadian bookstagrammers, but not a lot of Canadian booktubers, so she is my girl. We do live a while away from each other, but still, she's Canadian, I'm Canadian, she's my girl. Anyway, I was developing my lists of recommendations as I do, and I was like, I have some age gaps that I can recommend. And instantly, first thing that popped into my mind was Nicki loves this trope. So I was like, would you want to do this video with me? And she said yes, and I'm so excited because you know when you match a creator, not even just a booktuber, but you match them with whatever that subject is, that's kind of what I had for Nicki in this trope. I was like, yeah, this is totally her, and I'd be honored if she joined me. So definitely make sure you check out her video. In my mind, she's the queen of age gap right now, and I love every video she has. She reads an amazing mix of some dark romances, contemporaries, and the emotional shit, and we love a lot of similar tropes, so definitely check her out. I'll link her channel and her video down in the description. Anyway, thank you so much to Nicki for joining me. And before we get into the video, one more thing. I literally have an agenda of things I go over at the beginning of my videos, but I just feel like it's a great time to say it, so I'm gonna say it. Also, you guys are gonna be wondering more about it. I posted on Instagram that my diagnosis for my injured wrist was a lot worse than I thought. Pretty much facing surgery if I don't turn it around. If it doesn't rest and heal, I will have to go for surgery, and that is not what I wanted to hear. This is my dominant wrist. I use my wrist for so much. I use it for my small business. Literally, my small business depends on this fucking wrist. I use it when I'm editing these videos, when I'm doing anything, posting on Instagram, whatever, and it's a fucking drag because it's right before the goddamn holidays, and I'm so pissed, and I'm definitely not one to sit back and chill, so we'll see how it goes. Freya's gonna have to sit back and chill for a while my wrist heals, but my videos might be a little less frequent just because I will have to give myself as much time as I need to edit, which is fucking annoying, but it has to be done. So yeah, just a preface for my next few videos. You're gonna see this cast, wrist, splint, whatever thing it is, because my wrist has to readjust its size. And I probably won't do a full story time of how I injured my wrist, but back in 2016, I made a stupid decision and I faced the consequences by breaking my right arm and my left arm at the same time, but specifically I shattered my right wrist, my dominant wrist, and it's coming back to haunt me. So that's the info on that. I'll be pretty quiet on social media because I can't fucking scroll. It hurts my wrist to scroll. I could go on and on about this because I'm kind of really pissed at myself, but anyway, we are gonna get into the recommendations for age gap romances. I know it's a very loved trope, and honestly, it's not my top 5, top 3, whatever, but I'm usually always down for an age gap romance. Love them. So let's get into the recommendations. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, and subscribe. Stick around. Also, make sure you check out Nicki's video. It's down in the description, and let's get into them. So I have a variety of recommendations in this one. I wanted some big age gaps, and I wanted a few smaller ones because I love a good 5-year age gap, something like that, just a little bit that it's maybe we shouldn't, but maybe we should. But then again, sometimes those 18-year age gaps, they hit. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the smaller ones. I'm gonna start with Russian Ruin by Catherine Wiltshire. This follows Ella and Eldir, I'm pretty sure his name is. It's I can't tell if it's Elder or Eldir. It's spelled E-L-D-I-E-R. This is also in the world of Catherine Wiltshire's world, basically. She is fast becoming one of my favorite authors because I read her Santiago trilogy, loved it, then read more in that world and was obsessed, and she just writes a solid book every single time, and I just love them so much. But Dante from the Santiago trilogy, his daughter Ella is the heroine in here, and then the hero is Dante's right-hand man, Grayson's son, a adopted son, I should say. And yeah, it's like a full fucking circle moment for me because I loved their books. Anyway, they are childhood friends. They're like best friends. Eldir is like, uber protective of Ella, and it's so sweet. If you love a good childhood friends to lovers, Mafia edition with a bit of age gap, oh my god, this book is perfect for you. So yeah, they are friends from a very young age. They're like best friends, and before Eldir came to live with Grayson and his wife, before he was adopted by them, he had a fucked up past, and he kind of has like a curse on him from a lot of Spanish folklore and mythology, I believe. Got some fucked up stuff that happened to him, like giving tortured hero even at such a young age. And when that falls over onto Ella, or at least he believes it does, he is like pissed. And he's immediately like, Dad put me in the ranks as a made man, like ship me off somewhere, get me out of here. So he then becomes the like cartel lord over New York. Ella, as part of like the curse that she got, gets I think a form of leukemia, and she's very sick, and she is for the entire book. But basically that happens when they're like 8 or so. We fast forward to when they're adults. I think they're in their early 20s, and they are both in New York, and they cross paths on a business deal. Then it's just basically over for her. She was like finally out of her father's compound, out of the cartel world, able to go to school, get a job, and then Eldir shows up and is like, lock and key on you. And yeah, basically from there it's just like a tumultuous turn of events, up and down. Their chemistry though is off the page. This is only a 6-year age gap, that's why I started with it, so it's not like a huge age gap, and I was a little bit like, should I include it, should I not? But this is for those people who don't love an age gap but like maybe want to start liking age gaps, or they want a smaller age gap. Something for everyone, okay? So basically this book is crazy. The chemistry is off the page. It's an amazing childhood friends to lovers romance. It's a cartel romance with a bit of mafia because like they kind of go hand in hand, you know. And with Dante, who is the literal epitome of Tetra and I Kill You, and with his daughter and then her love interest, who is also the epitome of Tetra and I Kill You, like it's so good, you guys, so good. I loved it. My first 5-star read of like the fall, I think. Honestly, it's bordering 6 stars, but I want to say that this is a duet and it leaves on a big ass cliffhanger. So if you don't like those, you might want to come back to this in a month or so, because yeah, big ass cliffhanger. I was gonna say we're jumping straight off into the deep end here, but we're not gonna. Next, we're gonna go to Brutal Intentions by Lilith Vincent, and this also is a kind of taboo book. I don't know if I would put it on a scale of taboo or forbidden. Sorry, I had to move my camera because it was really pissing me off how I was like taller than the screen. Anyway, I'm not sure if I would put this on the scale of taboo or forbidden, but probably taboo, because this is a it's not a step sibling, he is her stepfather. This is also another very mafia light. He's not really in the mafia, and I don't even think he's a made man, honestly. His family is in the mafia, but like maybe 1, 2 out of 10 on the mafia scale, because like it's a very low mafia. And if you're looking for a good mafia starter book, highly recommend this one, but we're talking about the age gap here. There is an 11-year age gap between Mia and Laz, and this book, it's a good read. It's a solid read, it's a quicker read, it's steamy as hell, and it's a great age gap. So basically Laz is being forced by his brothers to be married. I don't really know how him and Mia's mother get married, but they do. That's kind of happens before this book takes place. But Mia's mother is not a great person, not a great wife, not a great mother. I'm not gonna say she's like the villain in this story, but she makes it easy for Mia and Laz to develop a little thing with the like amazing amount of tension they have, and you know, take it from there. So yeah, this is like a perfect forced proximity with a lot of tension and a bit of angst, as you would be able to guess with this kind of book. It's like tension off the page. The like forced proximity moments, the steam is also so good, and I highly enjoy it. Like I said, it's a really solid book. I gave it 4 stars. It's not like anything super unique, super new, something you're gonna like love forever and ever, but it's just a great read. That's what I mean when I say like solid reads. They're like not gonna be your favorite book in the whole wide world, but they're just really fun, and you'll like be smiling, you'll get through really quickly, you'll enjoy it. And this book is one of those. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, 11-year age gap, more on the taboo side, a little, I guess, forbidden, depending on your classifications, honestly. To me, this would be taboo, but you know, if you're down for one of those, I highly recommend it. Next, we're gonna go to Master of Salt and Bones by Carrie Lake. This one I read for spooky season, and it was so good. I read 2 books by Carrie Lake for spooky season, and they were both so good. So this is more of a boss employee kind of thing. It is also forced proximity. This follows Isadora and Lucien, I believe his name is. And like I said, it's a boss employee thing. She gets hired to take care of his mother, who I think has like Alzheimer's or something like that. And they live in this like haunted ass mansion with a lot of history right on the like edge of the ocean. I think there's like a cliff there too, and there's like caves, and oh my god, it's very gothic, it's pretty creepy, and there's like a lot of ghost stories. And not only is there ghost stories about that house, but like the family that lives in it, Lucien and his family, or Lucien and his mother basically, I swear to god, that family is haunted too. They're very well known in the town for being like, oh, don't go there, they're very creepy, they're like cruel, and you won't come back. But she goes there anyway. She needs the money. She gets hired as his mom's caregiver, and then from there they have like, once again, a bunch of tension. He has a pretty big backstory that is kind of in the forefront of this book. There's a lot of flashbacks to him, his past, all of that, but they both have their secrets, they both have their history, and like when you're stuck in a creepy haunted gothic mansion, you got a lot to sort through, you know? It was a very atmospheric book. I really liked it, and the tension, the chemistry was also really, really good. And this is just another amazing age gap darker romance. It's not too dark. There is some, I don't remember what the exact kink was. It might have been breath play, but it is steamy and it is amazing, and there's an age gap, so it had to be on this list. Okay, next up we're gonna go to even bigger age gap. This one is 18 years. This is The Devil Tainted Us by Shanjita Ali. She has a middle name too. I'm not gonna try and butcher it. Y'all will notice that I'm not great with names, but I also try not to mess up people's names because people mess up mine a bit and sometimes it pisses me off. So anyway, this is an amazing dark romance, age gap romance, creepy romance, gothic romance. If you can tell, some of these recommendations are being carried over from spooky season, but that's fine because they were such bangers. I don't really care. So yeah, this is also a bit of a historical romance, actually. I think it takes place in like 1960s or something, and it takes place in I say an asylum, kind of. It's a bit like a mental hospital, a bit just like a rehabilitation center. I don't really know, but it's also super creepy, super gothic. I love it. The heroine in this one, Agatha, her sister dies, and her sister's fiance ends up sending her to this place where she falls in love with one of the doctors. Basically because she's struggling with her mental health. She has hallucinations among some other things, and the hero in this one just kind of recognizes that she has been through a lot but just needs to be protected, because like this isn't a great place to be, you know? It's a dark romance. That was gonna be expected. So he kind of feels the need to protect her, and he's like, why do I need to do that? But he does it anyway. And yeah, he protects her from mainly the other doctors there because they're not great people. There is some shit that happens here that I'm like, oh my god. But this is another one that's just a really amazing dark romance. If you're a dark romance lover, you need to read this. It was so good, and I'm gonna be recommending it a lot because I think you guys will really like this. For an age gap, for a dark romance, for a creepy and gothic romance, it's just a all-around awesome book. And once again, the age gap is 18 years for this one. Honestly, this list was a little bit hard to create because of the age gaps. I wanted to say like what the actual gap in years was, and I don't really remember that from books. I was having a conversation with a friend on Instagram yesterday, and I was like, I don't know how people make all these edits of like the characters, their hair color, their eye color, because like, girl, I don't even remember the like character I'm reading right now. I don't know what the color of her hair is. I don't even know if she has like her ears pierced, you know? I seriously applaud everybody who makes those like edits with like such detail, because I could never. Honestly, I could never. And this one too, like I never remember what the age gap is. I just remember there was a gap, but I really wanted to give you guys the like age number, so this list took a while to create. I hope y'all appreciate that. Okay, I gotta shout out two OGs here, and that is the, oh my god, I forgot what it's called. It's an MC series by Gianna Darling. The first one is Welcome to the Dark Side. We're going to talk about that one, and then my personal favorite after. But this one I feel like came up in every single one of the age gap recommendation YouTube videos or like TikTok videos, Instagram, whatever it was. Everyone was always like, this series by Gianna Darling, you need to read it. And yeah, you do. So I wanted to bring in some fresh ones, but I also had to give this one a good old shout out because this series is just so good. Gianna Darling is also a Canadian author. She lives in BC, where Nicki and I live. She's amazing, and the book itself also takes place on the mainland, somewhere in the upper part of BC. I don't really know. I don't really remember. I read it this time last year, actually. And if you're thinking of like binging the entire series this winter, you need to, because I read it in November, and that was like the perfect time to read it. Honestly, I devoured the series because it just felt very not atmospheric in the sense of like creepy gothic whatever, but like it was a great series to read while you're like curled up by the fire while it's snowing outside, you know what I mean? And I did that, and it was so good. So this first one, Welcome to the Dark Side, there is an 18-year age gap as well. This follows Zeus and Lou, who also has a form of leukemia, I believe, or at least cancer. And Zeus actually saved her from a bullet when she was like 6 8 years old, and since then she's just like always like seen him as her hero kind of. And so when he went to jail because nobody in the town likes him, especially the mayor, she would like write him letters while she was in the hospital sick. She would write him letters. They exchanged letters for a while, and it was really sweet. But then it broke off, and fast forward a little while later when she is over 18, I think, and he's like in his 40s, I think, I don't know. Fast forward then when they just have like this special bond and they cannot keep their hands off each other, and that's it basically. That's not really a good description, but this one, it's gonna be a little too taboo for some people. It pushed my limits, I'll say that. I didn't always feel comfortable reading it, but I really believe that their love was like loving and really beautiful, and their bond is just like super special, like no other. Loved it. But one I loved more than that was Inked in Lies by Gianna Darling. Also in the series, it is a friends to lovers, brother's best friend, and it's so good. So Lila and Nova, I think her name is Lila, it might be like Lilia, I don't know. They are childhood friends, and he's actually best friends with her brother, who when you fast forward 10 years is actually presumed dead. They don't know where he is, they cannot find him, and Lila and Nova just grow really close over that. And then obviously, they've been in love with each other like this long. They could not keep their hands off each other. This is also a reformed Playboy trope. I love that personally. When you can like turn this dude around, props to you, girl. And this is like my best recommendation for that trope, honestly. So good. But this one also has a lot of secrets. They're both hiding a lot of things, and especially Lila, and it's just so fun. He's very protective. He's very possessive. It's so good. He's also a tattoo artist, which this is like a very specific trope, but I love tattoo artist heroes. They just hit every time for me. Don't know why. Okay, guys, this one was a bit of a shorter list today. I was hoping for a few more books, but like I said, I could not for the life of me come up with the actual age gap in years. I don't know why it's so hard, but I will definitely start writing down each age gap book I do read with the age gap. Hopefully I can bring you guys a part 2 with a few more recommendations sometime next year. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and a special shout out to Nicki from Nicki in Bookland for doing this video with me. Make sure you guys check out her channel, seriously, links in the description. I'm very excited for her recommendation list because, let's be honest, hers is gonna be much better than mine. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for everybody's best wishes for my wrist. I will see you guys in my next video very soon.